Hey guys, it's Siobhan Muir. I wanted to welcome you this evening to the Saturday Evening Soliloquy on SMTV on YouTube. And, you know, SMTV, Siobhan Muir TV. Siobhan Muir's Dauntless Romance. Anyway, I wanted to welcome you all tonight. I was talking to an artist today and on Facebook, and he was saying that he had a guy email him and say, hey, I noticed your work, and I was really interested in getting it as part of my book. I wanted in my book. And the artist was like, great, here's my rates, check it out and see what you like. And the customer went to and saw his rates and said, yeah, your rates seem a little high. I need proof that you're worth that kind of money. So could you like do a video of drawing it right in front of me so I can see that you're worth the money that you're asking for? Yeah. So that's kind of what a lot of authors and artists often come up against, is people who want to might actually be willing to pay for their work and ask for their work, but tend to do things like, well, you're not really a real artist anyway, and hey, Heidi, welcome. Thank you for dropping by. So you're not really artist, so I can't agree to pay you what you're worth, for all the efforts and time you've taken to learn how to draw like this. And it came back to what I've experienced as an author. There's a couple things that I experienced. The first one is they say, well, when are you going to write a real book? And it's because I do ebooks. I do both ebooks and paper, but I start off with ebooks because they're really easy to reach a lot of people. It's a lot easier to reach a lot of people with an ebook. They're less expensive, and I get paid more per book, right? When I sell you a paper book, I'm making probably a third of the price. All the rest of it goes into materials and shipping and things like this. But with ebooks, I put it all together, I get it all formatted, we get a beautiful cover, we make sure it makes sense, there's not too many typos. Typos happen no matter what we do. We get it edited, we get people to go through it and proofread it. We do what we can. We make a really nice book, a really nice product. You can get it and you can get it anywhere. That means anywhere in the world you live, whether you're in Russia or India or Pakistan, maybe you're in parts of Africa, as far south as Lesotho, or maybe you're as far north as, say, Denmark and Sweden. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You could be in Australia, you could be in Vietnam, you could be in China, you could be in Japan, you could be in Iceland. It doesn't matter. You can get an ebook anywhere. You just go to an ebook retailer like Barnes and Noble and Amazon and iBooks and Google Play. You can get your book, right? And then boom, you can read it. But there's a lot of people out there that have either been taught or just don't believe that ebooks are real books. So they're like, when are you going to write a real book? I've written 23 real books. Just saying, 23 real books. The other time I get that, so like, you're a romance author, right? And I'm like, yes, I am. And they said, so when are you going to write a real book? Because the media, who hates female-driven anything, and who are usually staffed by men who believe their own PR about romance, it being silly and stupid, and there's no real literary value, because most literary folks are very, very jealous of the success of romance authors. Heidi says she loves all 23 of my books. Well, thank goodness. They will say that they bought the PR that romance is not a real genre. It's silly. There's no real value to it, and there's no social commentary that's needed other than it's not a real book. When are you going to write a real book? Okay, so just to give you a perspective on this, would you like me to show you some of the real books? Let me do this. here's some of my not so real books. I happen to have them right here. There's quite a few of them. Now, granted, all 23 are not in paper yet, but that doesn't mean that they won't be. There is one or two that will never be in paper. It's just the breaks of the game in terms of the ones that are through Amazon Kindle Worlds, they will always be ebooks. I can't do anything about them. I'm not the publisher, so there you go. And the other one that will not be an ebook, or will not be anything but an ebook, is Hellhound's Fire, which is free. So there you go. Heidi, I'll answer your question about the weather in just a second. So let me show you a couple of these not so real books. Let me see here. How about this one right here? This is Second Chance Succubus. It is a actual, real book. You can beat people with it. I can sign it. You can read it like you were in the airport or something. But it is a paranormal menage romance with a murder mystery and BDSM elements. Right? But it's a real book. And it's about relationships and how people connect, and that it ain't easy no matter who you are. There's one real book, right? So that's one. Okay. How about the Valkyrie's Sword? See? Real book. Totally real book. Hey, Chandra. Hey, Nellie. Welcome. For romance not being a real genre, it gets some of the biggest space in stores and makes millions of dollars. Actually, Nellie, it's a $2 billion industry every year. $2 billion. And according to most men, success is based on how much money you make. I think that one qualifies. $2 billion a year? That's pretty good literature thing going on there. Yes, exactly. So here's another not so real book. Or rather, real, not real book, whatever you want to do it. This is the Valkyrie's Sword, paranormal romance. He's human, she's a Valkyrie. You do the math. Any case, yeah, real book. Here's another real book. This one's called Queen Bitch of the Callowwood Pack. It's a werewolf tale. And no, they don't sparkle. They don't growl, snarl, bark. Well, they do, but not like in Twilight. This is slightly different. They also are their own species, and if they bite you, you just get bitten. You don't get any fun stuff where you don't get to turn fuzzy and howl at the moon. You could if you wanted to, but you don't have to. Anyway, hello. Romance not a real genre. Does that include Pride and Prejudice? Oh yes. Well, actually, the Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, and Lady Chatterley's Lover are what did they call them? Not love stories. They call them ladies' literature. Chick lit. They call those chick lit. That's chick lit. Not romance. It doesn't matter that the characters get together in the end, which is the definition of romance. But those are chick lit. Yeah. Okay. So oh yes, here's another one. This is more of a fantasy romance. In Death's Shadow. He's an assassin, she's a princess. What could go wrong? But you're right. Not a real book. I get it. Yep. Oh, here. Bam Bam's Inked Heart. Again, Navy SEALs, a woman who owns her own business as a tattoo parlor owner. Sure. Right. So, yes. Not no real books and stuff like that. So that's the dilemma that a lot of people think. They go into this whole thing, well, it's a silly little genre. It's not little. It's not very silly. And actually, a lot of men could learn a lot about relationships and a lot about women by reading romance, because romance is spearheaded by women. Doesn't mean there aren't men in the genre, but the men authors, but it is spearheaded by women. And it is actually one of the few places where a male author wants to use his initials instead of his name, because most romance authors don't want to read a male author. I know it's not right, but it is what it is. It is one of the few places where women dominate. The other thing is it is a business run by women, for women, about women. And it is set up like women set things up. Women are really good networkers. Men, not so much. The ways women do business and interact with each other and spread the word and connect it's very different the way men work. And so when men try to step in and go, okay, I know how to do this, I'm going to organize this thing, and they don't do nearly as well because women don't react that way, and they aren't nearly as not, incompetent. Ugh. They're much more confident in this particular genre than anywhere else. And most men do not do well if they try to use male tactics to run a business here. So it's been interesting to me as an author and a person who looks at this like a job and to watch some of the men trying to hone in. And a lot of it's been interesting to watch the male models try to thinking, oh, well, I'm a male model, I'm beautiful, they want me on on their covers. And then they try to pull some shit that they shouldn't do. And I watch them, think they're all that and all the top of that. And then they watch them spiral and hit the floor because it's run by women and they don't understand that they're not going to be top dog. It's just not the way it works. It also doesn't matter that almost no movie is successful without the love scene or some. Oh, right. Well, Chandra, the thing I love about when people say, well, romance is silly, I think, let's go back to Star Wars, shall we? It's a science fiction genre. It's all about action adventure. But what is the main reason why Darth Vader goes nutso? Huh? What is it? It's love. He's worried he's going to lose the love of his life. He's worried that she's going to be hurt. So what does he do? He listens to the dark side that preys on his fears, and he goes nutso. And then he hurts a lot of people for love, the love of his life. Why is Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker fighting for this, and Han Solo get wrapped into it? What do? They're doing it for love. They're doing it to protect the people they care about. So tell me again how love isn't important? Yeah, I'm not buying it. And every single song out there on the radio. Okay, let's just look at pretty much all the pop songs out there. They're all about one form of love. Either you done me wrong, which the country western folk do to the extreme, or I've recovered since then, or I love you and you are the love of my life. It is all about love. They're another stupid love song, as that line goes. It's all about love. So these are real books. Oh, here's another Navy SEAL. Isn't he hot? And some cowboys. Yeah. So it's all about love. And even if you want to use the whole template of, well, you only are successful if you make lots of money. Romance makes lots of money. They do better. The next one that's closest, I think, the latest I heard, the next one that's closest is science fiction. And it doesn't even come close to $2 billion a year in people reading. So, just saying that there are plenty of books out there, and you know what? Romance comes in all shapes and forms. You can get dark romance, you can get fluffy romance, you can get contemporary, sweet romance where you don't see any sex. You can get hot, steamy romance with lots of explicit sex scenes. You can get BDSM, you can get military, you can get romantic suspense where someone's sneaking up on you. You can get disaster movies to style romance. You can get prepper romance. You can get romance with dragons, werewolves, vampires, and demons. You can get it all. It's all out there, whatever you love. And what I know about most readers is they love multiple genres. So it's someone who loves paranormal may love contemporary and may also love Western, but they don't like, say, Regency. And some of them love historical of all kinds and all types, but they wouldn't touch paranormal with a 10-foot pole. It's amazing to me. There's such a wide variety of readers, and none of them are wrong. So, recently, one of the authors that I know was talking about dark romance, and someone had posted an article about what can and cannot be in dark romance. I'm not a dark romance reader. I don't like it. It's not my thing. But that doesn't mean that other people don't. And it doesn't mean that you can say what can and cannot be in it, because honestly, if they're reading it, they love it. So there's no way to say That's not a real thing. That's not romance. Hey, the characters get together in the end and they like each other. It's a romance, no matter what happens in between. Like I said, I'm not a fan of dark romance. I don't like it. But it is a genre and it is just as legitimate as, say, fantasy romance or, Western romance or military romance or paranormal. It doesn't matter. And what I really appreciate is that there are plenty of readers out there, and it's all great and wonderful, and that's what's really important, is that everybody's out there reading. So to answer your question, Heidi, I'm sorry, it took me a little while to get back to it. The question is, how's the weather? We've had horrendous weather for 2 days, and it snowed in Wales. Oh my goodness, it snowed. Well, here we are taking the absolute opposite. Today it was 60 degrees Fahrenheit. As you can see, I'm in a tank top. And I'm wearing, like shorts and stuff like this. It is incredibly warm outside today. And so I've been kind of kicking back and relaxing and enjoying it. I also decided that since it is technically still winter, I made some hot cocoa. I found this recipe on Google Plus. So when I posted, they said it's Italian hot cocoa. It's Italian hot chocolate, not just cocoa, but chocolate. Because you actually melt chocolate and add milk to it, okay? This stuff is so you're so bored of the snow. Come save you. Come to Cheyenne. It's a lot warmer, Heidi. So I made this hot cocoa. Okay, this stuff's amazing. The recipe says it fills 2 cups. It does. It would fill 2 cups. The problem is you don't want to drink that much. This stuff is so rich. It's like drinking a brownie. You know what a brownie tastes like, right? Okay, so this hot cocoa, hot chocolate, is like drinking a friggin' brownie. It's like sludge, chocolate sludge in a cup. And I tried it today. And fortunately, we have these little mugs. And I put the chocolate in 4 of these little mugs, and I gave one to each member of my family. And they're all like, wow. It is very rich, very chocolate. Like I said, it's like drinking a brownie. And it takes a while to prep because you have to cook it really slow, otherwise you'll burn it, and you don't want to do that. But I'm telling you, this was rich chocolate. It takes a half a cup of chocolate into bits, right? So you want like they said 72% dark chocolate, all right? I had 60%, so I actually cut the sugar back because it was already sweetened. And then so I did a half a cup of chocolate chips, and then you put it in a like a saucepan, and then you add a little bit of milk so that it will help keep it from burning. And you have to stir it and stir it and stir it until it melts down and it doesn't, burn. And then you add the rest of the milk a little bit at a time. So you want 1.5 cups of milk in total. So you add a little bit at a time, and you stir and you stir and you stir and you stir. So you end up with this essentially chocolate milk, right? Because you've melted the chocolate, and then you put the milk in and you stir it. Then you add, because I had only 60% dark chocolate, I added only 1 tablespoon of sugar. It calls for 2, but you have to have the bitter chocolate for 2. So I only put in 1 tablespoon of sugar. And then after you get all that mixed, right, and it flows pretty good, then you put in 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. You want this stuff to thicken, right? Because like I said, it's like drinking a brownie. So you end up doing that, and you whisk that in, right? And then you cook it really slow and stir periodically. It probably takes about a half an hour to actually make this, because like I said, you have to do it slow or you'll burn it. Then basically what you do is you wait until it cooks down to a rich dark sludge. And then you lick a ladle and you ladle. You don't pour, you ladle this into the different mugs. And then you end up with kind of like really, really rich chocolate. You know, on a Christmas morning or some sort of holiday, it would be excellent. But you don't want very much of it. Like I said, only a little bit. And you're just like, okay, that's enough. Now I need water. It was awesome. So if you want the recipe, I will post it. But I did find it. Like I said, I would change a couple things just because the chocolate I had on hand was 60% rather than 72%, but it was good, and you will love it if you're a chocolate person. What else can I tell you? Let's see. So the good news about me publishing real books, because I do, I publish real books, and some of them are really heavy. I will be recently. I put in my bid for going to Wild and Wicked Weekend, which is in San Antonio in February of 2019. I will be there physically, and I will have some of these books. So, you can come and get them, and I can sign them, and you can talk to me in person. Although you are talking to me right now, but anyway, you can talk to me in person. And then I was planning, and Heidi, I hate to break this to you, but I don't think I'll be able to come to Wales this year. I am so sorry. I really wanted to come, and I really wanted to put it together, but a lot of things fell apart, and I don't think I can make it across the pond this year. And that really, I'm very sorry. I was so looking forward to it, but I don't think I can do it. So, we'll have to see if I'm going to go to any events this year. It may not be. My grandmother in Seattle is not doing well, and so I kind of have to be on call for should the end come. I kind of have to, leap on an airplane and head to see family. I don't want to, but it's family. You can't just say no. Y'all take care of that mourning process by yourself. Yeah. Hey, Mary, welcome. So yeah, I won't be able to come to Wales this year. I know a lot of you that are across the pond were hoping I'd be there, but I just can't pull it off. Um, but I will be in San Antonio, Texas in 2019. I'm looking into other events. I was going to go to Coastal Magic in 2019, but they're pretty much the same weekend. So I had to pick one, and I picked Wild and Wicked Weekend in San Antonio because a lot of people have been asking me if I would come. So that was kind of cool. So yes, I am definitely signed up to be there. So if y'all want to see me in live, live and right there where we can shake hands, I will be in San Antonio in February 2019. Signing books, talking about books, talking about hot men. Oh, let's talk about hot men, right? Because, nobody has a problem talking about hot men. So today, my model, this guy right here. See this guy? This guy? His name is Marcello. And he is, yes, Delhi, the guy who represents Delhi. He is, I wanted this picture right here. I wanted it for the cover because it's a hot picture and he's a hot guy. Anyway, so this hot gentleman has agreed to be on my cover. Well, he sent me the photos, but the photos were little. They didn't have the resolution. I can't put them on the cover. And I'm like, and he said, wait, I'll go ask the photographer to get the I was with hot men at London Rare. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Lucky you. In any case, so he said I will contact the photographer and find out if they have the high resolution images. And I'm like, please, please. And so what he ended up doing is he got in contact and the photographer didn't have them. And I'm like, what does that mean? He said, wait, don't panic. Like, and so he said, well, I have a photographer I know that we're going to work on the images and see if we can make them high res. If we cannot, the photographer I'm working with we'll be able to recreate the images. So we'll take the exact same images that you wanted to buy. And I'm like, okay, let me know how it goes. I'm I'm all ears. And so we'll see how it comes out. It's supposed to happen today, so I don't know. I won't hear from him until a little later to find out how it went. And so I'm excited because he's a good-looking man, and oh, it was really even funnier. He sent me a recent picture of him, and he has that beautiful scruff on his face. Yeah, well, it's turning silver. And he looks so handsome with it. And he's all like, I know, I get called on the silver. And I said, I don't know, it looks really sexy. And he goes, thank you. And then I sent him a picture of Mr. SM because Mr. SM is pretty much salt and pepper at this point. And it was like, oh, you guys are awesome. You guys look so good. So, Mr. Handsome Model, Marcello, will have, then if we recreate the photograph, he'll have a little silver on the edges of his chin, which is awesome. I told him it works for me. And besides, you would think that Deli, given the fact that he's a Navy SEAL and has seen some pretty hairy stuff, would probably have, even if he's young, probably have a little silver in him because, stress does that to people. I know, because I have silver lines in my hair. You can't see it yet. It hasn't quite worn off. The red stuff hasn't worn off. But I realized that I'm not going to dye my hair because I miss my silver. I miss it. I earned those silver strands, thank you. So I want them back. So yeah, so he is going to work with the photographer, and hopefully we will get the exact same images back, so it'll look really good. That's the first thing. The second thing is recently Michael Stokes, who is a photographer of the male physique. In other words, he gets together with all these hot male models and he takes pictures of them. One of the models, his name is Zach. I can't pronounce his last name, but it's Salaun. Saloon? I don't know how he pronounces it. But Zach, apparently, Michael asked Zach to grow his chest hair out, right? And said, please, we just want to take pictures of men with chest hair. And so Zach agreed to it. He said, all right, I'll do that. And then Michael took these fabulous photographs, and I'm like, oh, there's one. Oh, that one's beautiful. Yay, chest hair. And Michael actually responded to me and said, yeah, he grew it out just for us. And I'm like, well, you done good because it's awesome. So I said, I promise I'll post this for Teddy Bear Thursday. So on Thursday, I took the image that he had posted and I posted it on not on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest, on Google Plus, and on Tumblr. And I posted it everywhere. And I said, I promised Michael Stokes that I'd post this. And thanks to Zach, Saloon, for having grown out his chest hair. Thank you. And then how was your Thursday? The cool thing was Michael and Zach both responded to me on Twitter and said, hey, thanks for the love. It was awesome. And it was so cool to connect with not only the photographer, but the model and just say, we really appreciate it when you grow your hair out. It's all good. So it was like one of those happy author moments where the model actually said, hey, thanks a lot. I'm like, you're welcome. Keep it up. So it was a good moment for me, and I felt really good. And today, Michael Stokes posted something, says, hey, will you go help this other photographer out? He's selling stuff on eBay. And so I went and looked on eBay, and I did pick something up. I will show it to you when it gets here. I bought it. And so yeah, it's all purdy and all that. But yeah, Michael Stokes takes some really fantastic photographs as well. And he's not worried about the male genitalia. He'll take pictures of pretty much every part of that guy. And I appreciate that because I like it. Now his photographs are a lot more expensive, so I haven't put any of his photographs on my books, but I sure do appreciate them. Besides, Paul Henry Sayre is still my favorite photographer. He's just He takes some great pictures. Yeah, I love Michael too, Chandra. I absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. He takes some really, and like me, although he probably got a lot more leniency than I did, but like me, Facebook shut him down because it's not okay. Um, the owners of Facebook, it's not okay to show hot men on Facebook. That harms their community standards, which is basically geared toward heterosexual men who fear any men that look better than them or have taken time to, work out in the gym. Um, so Facebook can just kiss my big old white buttocks and head on out. And so I no longer post man pics on Facebook. I won't do it. I will basically tell everybody who wants to see them to go other places and basically pull revenue and people off Facebook to go and look at something else somewhere else. Facebook is an idiot. You're absolutely right, Heidi. It is. And it pisses me off because the day I got back, when I was put in Facebook jail, it was for 7 days. And the day I got back on Facebook, the first thing I see in my feed is a naked woman posted by a man publicly. But he didn't get slapped with the automatic nudity auto ban, Facebook jail. I posted my naked man, mostly naked man. You couldn't see anything. It wasn't nearly that fun to look at. I mean, you couldn't see anything. In a private group where only adults are welcome, and I was put in Facebook jail for 7 days. I know I've told this story, but it really, really pisses me off. So, but that's the thing. Michael Stokes and I are kind of in the same boat in the sense that we can't post mostly naked men on Facebook. We'll get thrown in Facebook jail for violating community standards, which is geared toward heterosexual men. Those are the community standards. Save the children. Don't let them know that they can grow up and be healthy too. Because idiots. Exactly. Exactly, Mary. So yes, I recognize that. So Michael and I share that thing. We've both been in Facebook jail. He has experienced it where he's been banned for 30 days, an entire month, not on Facebook. And man, that would, at that point I'd be just like, I'm never posting anything again on Facebook other than words. Come and see words, and then go into the comments and click on the links and go somewhere else, because I was like, you can't treat me that way. Yeah, I'm sorry your heterosexuality is threatened, but yeah, no. Any case, so it was really cool to interact with Michael Stokes. It was really cool to interact with the model Zach Saloon, and Zach was also the guy that I posted on Valentine's Day of the guy holding a bow, like a bow and arrow, and for Cupid, and he was on a red background that Michael Stokes had taken a picture of, and he has a big old brightly colored peacock on his hip. That's Zach. Now Zach at that time had waxed his chest and stuff like this, but man, Zach, if you grow it out, buddy, you look awesome. You totally look awesome. Your chest hair and belly hair is absolutely fabulous. So just saying, keep it up. So, if you guys want a snippet of the upcoming story, the story that will be out on March 22nd, called Cloudburst Coffee and Spa, there is a snippet up on my blog today for Snippet Sunday. It is from the hero's perspective. His name is Aiden Westmoreland, and you can read a little snippet of what he is walking into at the beginning of the story. So it's up there, ready to go. It's Siobhan Muir. See if I can post that for you guys. It's SiobhanMuir.com. So I don't get it wrong. .com/ There you go. SiobhanMuir.com/ Siobhan's blog. You can head on over there, and that you can get the snippet, and that'll be available for you to read and enjoy. Again, it's just a snippet, so I'm not going to, you're only getting little bits of it. But that one is up on pre-order right now for 99 cents, and you can go get it anytime. And it will come out on March 22nd, along with 12 other stories. So you should get 13 total stories for 99 cents. That's a pretty good deal. What else can I tell you? I've put together the cover for that one, but I'm not going to show it to you for probably until after the book has been out for a little while. Because like I said, it's in a box set right now, so the individual cover will be advertised later. But it is ready to go. I'm really excited about it. It turned out really good. I love the we put the heroine on it. And the best part is the background image of this cover is a photo I took myself when I was in Wallace, Idaho. So even though it's not technically Colorado, it looks like Colorado. And it's a little town, and it's gonna be awesome. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that, but definitely stop over on my blog and see a little snippet. It's a fun story. I really like how it turned out. I had to do some heavy duty rewrites on it because it was so old, but I like the way it turned out. I love how the characters came together. I love some of the events that you get to read about. I love some of the things that make it romantic suspense, and I love the fact of how the bad guy is taken care of. So it was a good story. It turned out really good. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would. So yeah, I hope you get a chance to take a look at that. Alrighty, well, I've been talking to you for about 36 minutes, and that's probably long enough. So I hope you guys have a great evening, and thank you for all stopping in and joining me. If you don't get to see this live, be sure to comment on it. I get the notifications of the comments, and I will totally respond. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And in the corner, there's a little bell up there, and that actually it's over on that corner. There's a little bell, and if you click that, it'll give you notifications. You have to click it though, otherwise it won't. It says subscribe, and then it gives you notifications. If you don't do that, you don't get notified that I'm online. So that's part of the deal. Also, according to Bianca Summerlin and Sasha White, we're going to do something special with these live posts. So I don't really know what that is yet because they said, shh, Siobhan doesn't know. And I'm like, what don't I know? So something's coming down the pike, and I'll let you know as soon as I do, because apparently there's something coming, and I don't even know what it is. So thank you all for joining me tonight for the Saturday Evening Soliloquy. I will be back live tomorrow morning for the Sunday morning tea on SMTV on YouTube. That'll be from somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Eastern. And somewhere after that point, I will be, at 4:04 forward. What did the link? In any case, I hope that you guys can join me, and that, oh, it did not find it, huh? Well, that's kind of weird. I'm sorry. I will post the real live the real post. Let's see. Maybe it doesn't like the HTTPS. You know how that is. Sometimes these links don't work, but you have to kind of work around them. So just go to SiobhanMuir.com. Don't worry about the rest of it, and click on Siobhan's blog. It should be the top post. You'll be able to see it. And yeah, that's kind of weird that it did that. Oh, I'm so glad that that works. Any case, so if you can go definitely see my blog and see the post that's there, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow, and we'll do this again. I'm sure we'll talk about something. You are welcome to ask me any questions. I tend to answer them, and yeah, I hope that things go well for you, and I hope you have a good night. I will see you tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll talk about something interesting. But definitely check out the sludge in a cup, the Italian hot chocolate. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.